No, of course I'm not okay, dude. I can't even crack jokes at the expense of a bunch of inbred white douchebags that decided to try and build a failed white supremacist enclave in the middle of nowhere where they're in self-exile without a bunch of chatters saying that I'm actually blinded by white supremacist values. How can I be okay? I hate all of you.
You want a white nation? Build a white town.
And then organize. Become organized with like-minded people.
We're part of a living tradition that we can't lose.
We were up early this morning to go to a whites-only town in rural Arkansas. Eric, who runs the town, is all over social media. He's going on every YouTube and podcast. Very prominent neo-Nazis and white supremacists and anti-Semites in the US. And they're letting CNN come visit them.
I think this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, let them have that, bro. It's Arkansas. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody gives a fuck about this. It's Arkansas. Not only is it Arkansas, but it's also like, it's just another town in Arkansas, like a whites only town in Arkansas. Wow. So you mean just another town in Arkansas? Got it. Like, if they didn't build themselves as like a white only town in Arkansas, I think most people would just assume it's yet another one, you know?
There he is. Stoney O'Sullivan. Nice to meet you. And how many acres have you got here? Or
160.
Okay.
Ish.
It's pretty sizable.
Yeah. That is a pavilion, or will be a pavilion. Just a place to meet up.
What does somebody have to do, or what does somebody have to be to come live here?
You have to be someone who identifies with your European heritage and ancestry.
So European, white.
Those are synonyms to me.
Right now there's about 40 or so people living here, give or take. But you told me there's hundreds of people want to move here. Hundreds of people have applied.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
totally.
There are quite a few people waiting to be interviewed.
Yeah, any day now, bro. Any day. Bro, this is hilarious. I think let him do this shit, you know? Maybe I think we should just like, if white people want to, if self-selecting racist white people want to off to a whites only enclave that is in Arkansas, hello. Yeah, go right ahead, King. I love that shit, bro. Get the out of the big cities, get the out of diverse neighborhoods. You know, if you want to self-banish, I'm taking it. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. And I'm saying, go ahead. You can fulfill all of your cousin desires in your little enclave, man. Hell yeah. It seems like a slippery slope, but I'm cool with it if it's going to be confined to rural Arkansas. I mean, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Because you can't get acres and acres of land anywhere else. You know what I mean? You have to kind of go to rural Arkansas. So it's basically the problem solves itself.
Are they all?
Well, it depends on what you mean by racist. Are they racist in the sense that they hate other groups of people and want to deprive other groups of people of resources or opportunities? No.
People like Eric are afraid that white Americans are being replaced, and a projection from the US Census has them worried. I think America is due to become a minority.
Imagine endorsing sundown towns in the Big 2-5. I think you have to understand. What about the people who have to travel through there? Can't believe you're endorsing sundown town. Travel through there? You're joking, right? You must be joking. Where? Not at all. Where are you going? Do you know where this place is? What are you talking about? It is literally so far away from any human life. If you live 10 miles away, you're under their jurisdiction. They can pull you over for bullshit. Brother, you are trying to imagine a world where these dumps have any kind of motion whatsoever. Is literally asking for bullshit to happen. I mean, I understand we're in downtown shit, but the problem with the sundown town is it literally is pre-existing towns. Okay? It's pre-existing towns that are designed not after the fact in bumfuck nowhere. They are towns that are literally the only towns that are the points of humanity and points of civilization in between points of travel. This is like a little white supremacist enclave that has to be far removed from the rest of existence. Like, this is not even a town, by the way. There is no jurisdiction. There is nothing here. Yeah, it's Waco, exactly. It's basically self-exile. Until there is. Yeah, I don't think... Look, if it happens, then yes, you're right. If it's a municipality, sure. I don't think it's happening anytime soon, okay? I just don't believe that these dipshits have any motion whatsoever. This is a terrible take. Lamau, the rural South is a ton of black people. What do you mean? Some of the largest black population states in the country by percentage of southern states. Letting this stuff foment down there unaddressed is bad. The moment that this loser actually has any sort of motion is an entirely separate equation. Okay? I think you guys are trying to figure out a way in which this is wrong, which it is. It's wrong fundamentally. It's a white supremacist town that they're trying to build. Okay? Obviously, like, I take issue with it. But god damn, you guys don't have to be so serious about this shit. This is the future the American Communist Party wants? Yes, exactly. Your understanding of white supremacy is so juvenile, it's infuriating. It's because I am a white supremacist. I'm moving to the white supremacist town, okay? That's why. I'm a white supremacist. I'm white, okay? I'm white. I'm a white man. I'm a cisgender, heterosexual white man. You got me. You caught me, okay? You caught me because I want these white enclaves to survive and exist so we can have sundown towns and finally restore the white caliphate. You got me. Implicit biases. It starts with the blind spots. Despite the tens of thousands of hours poured over critically examining white supremacy and how it manifests in every orifice of American society, you, chatter, you caught me! It was actually my privileged blind spot that you identified, and now the mask is slipping! Shut the up! God damn, dude. You're so stupid. What is this like? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. No, I'm not okay. No, of course I'm not okay, dude. I can't even crack jokes at the expense of a bunch of inbred white douchebags that decided to try and build a failed white supremacist enclave in the middle of nowhere where they're in self-exile without a bunch of chatter saying that I'm actually blinded by white supremacist values. How can I be okay? I hate all of you. I hate the woke. I hate woke. I hate the left. I hate the woke. Achieve anything. We will never build communism, socialism, any sort of progress whatsoever. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's not happening anytime soon, regardless. But we're not even building even a modest expansion of social safety nets, okay? Because this kind of mentality is just cancer at the heart of any kind of fucking coalition building, any kind of movement building. You can't even fucking make a couple jokes without people being like, whoa! It's a privileged blind spot. And now I'm crashing out because I'm a white supremacist. Okay? Just get the fucking ball rolling ahead of time. Make some fucking TikToks, chatters. It's time. Let's go. Hasan consistently dropping the ball on black issues. He needs to stop talking about black issues. It's just like you're centering your entire worldview around being a fucking smarmy douchebag. Who the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? We're getting to a goddamn point where if people want to fucking be white supremacists, they can openly say it. You won't achieve shit because you're not an organization. You have no idea about movement building. You've clearly never been a part of movement. You, whatever movement you're a part of, you are destroying, okay? Whatever fucking movement you have actually been a part of, you are actively undermining and destroying. You literally are born with a copy of the fucking CIA disruption manual. You, chatter. You. I am not a movement, exactly. But even though I'm not a movement and an entertainer nonetheless, you still treat this as though it is yet another opportunity for COINTELPRO. And it's not that you're getting paid by the fucking CIA. You're just doing it for fun because you're a fucking moron. You're a fucking moronic dipshit. Every single thing must be designed according to your own personal values. That's it. You're selfish. You're stupid. And even when something is irrelevant and unproductive and utterly for entertainment purposes, you can't fucking stop yourself. You have no charity. You have no grace. You're just a fucking narcissistic loser. Okay? And you behave like a little federal agent for free. You're catastrophizing. You really have no clue you were crashing out for a place of sensitivity? I'm not. I'm crashing out because I can't fucking stand losers like you. Okay? I can't stand it. And guess what? No one can. No one can stand you. No one. You need to really stop behaving like this. Fuck, man. Oh, the problem is you think you're doing progressive politics when in fact, what you are doing is being a fucking annoying woke scold. Your own personal inability to understand context, nuance, whether someone is actually joking or not, is not actually doing praxis. You're not doing praxis. You're posting in a fucking Twitch chat. You goddamn loser. Shut the fuck up. You are so unimaginably insufferable. You are not actually doing praxis right now. Please understand this. Remember, this all started because you had to argue that sundown towns are cool. You are a mentally deficient, absolute moron. If you think I said sundown towns are cool, that is not a thing that I said. I actually never said that. You have to make up what I said in order to justify your worldview, in order to justify your smarmy, annoying, narcissistic tendencies. This is what I mean. Stop. Stop masquerading as though there is a real point of contention that you're advocating for here. There is none. You just want to be heard because you're a fucking loser and no one cares about your opinion. Okay? That's why you're doing this. I hate the tendency of the left to make it seem as though as long as they use academic language and emancipatory language, they can just be a fucking woke scold, boring loser who just everyone has to pay attention to. And the other problem is there are plenty of people that are going to fucking hear this shit and go, you know what? Was that person a black person? Was that person a brown person? Maybe they do actually have a real serious issue with what Hasan is saying. No, you're just being fucking insufferable and also incredibly cynical. And not only are you being insufferable and incredibly cynical, you're also lying about my positions now. If you have to justify your worldview or what you did just now by lying about what I'm saying, after spending years in this fucking community, then maybe you should really reconsider how you approach the subject matter. Why? Why do you feel the need to do this? Day one, because your blood pressure is at insane levels right now. Just stop being fucking weird. Stop being annoying. The reason why I pop off like this is because it literally, it's the most annoying tendency. It's the most annoying tendency that people have. It's so frustrating. Holy fuck. It's just, this is the one aspect that the right unironically nails when they say, oh, this is just like virtue signaling. Because that's what it is. This is not even like you don't genuinely believe this. You don't genuinely believe this is my position. Because if you did, then you're a fucking moron, right? Like if you spent years and years in the community of someone who is justifying sundown towns because they think it's cool, then you have to be a fucking moron. So which one is it? Are you mentally deficient? Or are you being cynical here for the purpose of winning an argument? And then here come every single person that will turn around and in the least charitable way go, you didn't say you like sundown towns. You said, let these fucking mentally ill white supremacist losers self-exile. Because that's what I said. But you're not going to actually say that. You're going to say, Hasan, you justified the existence of whites-only towns. Okay? That's what you're going to say. Standing. And I totally understand if someone has never encountered my commentary before and maybe they misunderstand my position. But if you're in this community, you don't have to masturbate to a deliberate misunderstanding, okay? It's just so frustrating. I hate having to deal with, you said you like pancakes, you must hate waffles as the primary fixture of people's politics on a daily fucking basis. Because that's all this is. That's all this is. You're not doing politics. You're not doing praxis. You will never understand the point I'm trying to make because being insufferable is your politics, by the way. Me. I'm being insufferable. Pay attention to me. I'm using academic language. I'm using emancipatory language. You have to listen to me. I'm going to tell you right now that you're actually hurting my feelings, but you're not hurting my white feelings. You're hurting my feelings as someone of insert marginalized identity. That this way, other people who will encounter this conversation later down the line, because I have a million different fucking haters who are clipping right now, salivating at the prospect of this conversation taking place, are going to use the most negative framing to cut 1,000 other fucking arguments about how Hasan is a white supremacist. He snapped now. Okay? Oh, gotcha. Politics is boring. No, politics is not boring. You can make politics fun, okay? You can make it fun. I try to all the time, in spite of the fucking best attempts of the most smarmy, annoying fucking douchebag losers on the goddamn planet. Oh. This is the ideal scenario of a non-existent place with no populace that no one lives in and has nothing of value. No one is there to be fucked. It's vacant nothingness at this moment is only letting in volunteer gigabigots so no one loses. And it's going to fail regardless. It's not going to fucking work because they're a bunch of inbred hicks. Anyway, don't refresh their logs. They have, yeah, I know. False dichotomies. I can see this is a sore point for you, bro. I just sound like that. Haha, I don't have to try. The victim complex is so wild. I'm not a victim, dumbass. I'm not. You are. And you're also self-victimizing. And you're also just fucking a nuisance. I'm not saying I'm a victim. I'm not a fucking victim at all. I'm a profoundly privileged person who at the very least tries to use their privilege to fucking reach a broader audience and try to change their minds in spite of your fucking shitty best attempts to try to gatekeep any kind of fucking progressive movement from happening because you're a fucking loser who is a hipster with their politics. Don't ever come in here and say this is life or death for me and you don't take this shit seriously, because if this was life or death for you, you would probably not behave like this. Okay? That's it. That's it. It's that simple. You only come in here specifically to cause nonsense, to cause bullshit, because your life is otherwise boring, and you probably pulled this shit in whatever organization you were a part of, and slowly but surely people tried to quiet you down, either forcibly exiled you from whatever organization that you were a part of, or at least they just stopped listening to you. So now, at least under the guise of anonymity, you can be a fucking annoying loser in here. Celestial praxis. What kind of celestial praxis is this? A lot of people need to wake the fuck up, okay? There is a reason why your coworkers look at you and find you to be gross. Behave in this way. It's annoying as shit. Being the most annoying douchebag someone has ever met, but then adding emancipatory language to it doesn't fucking make you correct. Some people wear this shit on their fucking sleeve. Oh, everyone hates me, so I must be doing something right. No, you're not. Everybody hates you because you're fucking annoying. Your politics might be good, but you're fucking annoying. Stop. I'm not saying this to hurt your fucking feelings either, by the way. God damn, bro thought jokes would fly is like the only thing that these dipshits unironically and sincerely hold on to. Be normal, please. Refresh chatter, he's saying more. That chatter is a woke scold ultra leftist. Then why are you crying so loud if you're not a victim? I'm loving the fan fiction. No, I'm crying so loud because your tendency is poisonous, okay? It's annoying. I could have just banned you a long time ago. But the reason why I'm actually trying to have a conversation with your terminally brain-rotted online dipshit politics is because it's poisonous. It's the same reason why normies look to us, okay? Normies look to us from afar and go, ew, gross. I don't want nothing to do with this community because of people like yourself, because of the tendencies of engaging in like hyper scrutiny as a form of politics. Remember how we were joking about like this kind of stuff needs to go away in woke too? The notion that like people are, for example, not reacting to a movie correctly, or whatever content you're consuming actually determines what your political ideology is. Oh, this content creator is a fascist because they said something I didn't like. Like this kind of behavior is unimaginably off-putting to normal people who haven't done any reading whatsoever. Okay? And unfortunately, we can't do that. We don't have the opportunity to engage in these sorts of idiotic purity spirals. We don't have the time, and we do not have the manpower to even do so. Okay? You ain't turning this franchise around, dog. No, I know it's not turning around. But every now and then I need to be somewhat off-putting to people who make this their only politics, because they are poisonous. They're poisonous for growth. They're poisonous for any sort of fucking movement. So I need to like push them away by yelling at them with the hopes that like maybe the 12 other individuals who agree with this person's worldview will then fucking turn around and say, yeah, maybe there's some truth to what he's saying. Maybe this is really off-putting, so I'm not going to fucking engage in this. I've been in mutual aid groups for over 6 years now. I've seen people like this chatter nearly tear apart groups that have been going on for 10 plus years and fed tens of thousands. Yes. And the worst part is these people literally do not understand what they're doing. Like there's just no other way. It's because whatever kind of like social maladaptive behavior they demonstrate, they think they can masquerade by simply using the right language. Okay? You're not being fucking annoying or a nuisance. You're actually engaging in a justifiable endeavor to clean up this community that you're a part of. Like, no, you don't. You're not doing that. You're not trying to clean up the community with like any sort of moral purity or holding the streamer accountable. Okay? You're just being fucking annoying. And you want people to pay attention to you and you want to be the king of the woke. Okay? That's it. I've seen thousands of people like you come and go. Many of them become lifelong haters and then make fucking fools of themselves like that Suki's mom person on Twitter. Okay? That's where you're going to become if you don't actually change the path that you're going down. Okay? That's it. It's because their politics are their whole personality. They think they're better than everyone else. It's pure narcissism. It is. It is pure narcissism. No wonder there's so many fucking left movements in this country that turn into cults. Yes, they were annoying, but crashing out about this hard wasn't the best way to teach any lessons. No, you're doing the same fucking thing that I'm yelling about right now, just a different variety of it. Okay? That's it. You're doing the same thing. You're just doing a different variety. I agree with you, but your methods are unacceptable. Okay, then fucking leave. I'm an eldest immigrant daughter. You think yelling me pushes me away? Do you know normal people? You hang out with streamers? I know a lot more normal people than you do. Trust me. I don't know why a Twitch streamer is held to this standard. Because there's no emotion in the real world. The only time where you fucking make a big fuss about a Twitch community, especially one that is so ideologically aligned with you, is when you recognize that you're powerless. Okay? This comes from a place of powerlessness. In 2016 and 2017 and 2018, the reason why so many fucking radlibs hyper-focused on whatever kind of content was not suited to their immediate demands was because they knew that they couldn't do anything about the Trump administration. They knew they couldn't do anything to tackle white supremacy, which is a core foundational value for America. So what could they do? Maybe feel a little bit better about themselves if, insert corporate name here, actually took their demands seriously. And they got a crumb of accountability. And it's this right here, the Twitch streaming space, is entirely reliant on consistent feedback. Okay? There's a lot of back and forth communication happening here in this medium. And that is precisely the reason why that accessibility makes some of the fucking craziest people nut at the prospect of being able to get a streamer to respond to their accountability measures. Okay? It sucks. It sucks. It's annoying. And those people, when I say these words, will go, there it is. He's avoiding accountability. No, I'm not. I'm trying to tell you that what you're doing is not a sincere demand for accountability, that you haven't actually been wronged. But the real reason why you're doing this is because you want to be heard. And deep down inside, hopefully you can recognize that and stop behaving like this. If there is a serious grievance that must be addressed, then yeah, of course. And there are plenty of times where I do actually take a deep breath and go, you know what? You guys are right. I'm sorry for the way I behaved here. But this is not one of those moments. This is a consistent gripe that I've had over the course of the past 8 fucking years of this goddamn career that I've built here in this goddamn community that I've built. Okay? What leftists and anyone in progressive politics fails to realize that being a leftist does not make you an inherently good person. Leftism is understood primarily through advocacy for economic shifts and social programs, meaning that leftism does not address the antisocial and apathetic tendencies that a lot of people have in the ruin it brings to a space. Exactly. It's great. If you're going to be a fucking loyal servant that fights against capital, then great. You know, if you're going to be a loyal servant to the proletariat, I'm right there with you. It's fucking awesome. But you can't come in here and shit around the place, okay? This is a twice a year rant, put the movement first before your feelings. Exactly. And I hope to God you guys don't behave around other people when you're in an actual organization, because, oh my Lord, this shit is so poisonous. HR leftism is a great term for it. To be honest, most of this kind of behavior I only meet online with other leftists. I know. It's because most people like this get pushed out of real organizations, because they get consistently pushed out of real organizations because they behave like this around other people, and the other people then turn around and go, okay, you're fucking insane. Look, like they're still chirping. Like this person, they're still chirping. I'm an eldest immigrant daughter. You think yelling pushes me away? Who am I, Hasan? Tell me. Here we go. The Hasan mind can't possibly comprehend people having legitimate concerns and sincere beliefs. No, I can. I'm saying your concern is illegitimate, okay? Your concern that you think is real is actually not real. It's illegitimate. That's the point. And you already demonstrated that by saying, remember, this all started because you had to argue that sundown towns are cool. Yeah, if that was your concern. If all of a sudden a streamer that you've been watching that you think is progressive came out of the gate swinging for sundown towns and how cool they are, yeah, that would be a legitimate concern. It'd probably be more concerning for you and how fucking stupid you have been. You must have been the biggest moron for the last couple of years. A person that you financially supported for 6 months, as a matter of fact, with subscriptions, was actually advocating for sundown towns this whole time. How could we have been so stupid? How could we have been so stupid? If that was a legitimate concern, yes. The problem is that is an illegitimate concern, and deep down inside you recognize that. That's why you have to bastardize a position that I do not hold in order to justify the fucking self-aggrandizing positions that you have here, okay? That's it. It's not real analysis. I hope this is a sobering moment for you. I hope this is a moment of recognition for the way you behave, because if you behave like this in the real world, you're going to fucking push people away instantly. Or if you're going to behave like this in the real world, don't tell people that you're a leftist or a socialist. Tell them you're a fucking Republican. You know, just go around telling people you're a Republican, and this is the fucking smarmy, annoying attitude you demonstrate as a Republican. Okay? That's it. That's my argument. That's my point. That's what I'm frustrated by. But you will never get it because in your mind, you think it's actually a fucking valid concern. A valid concern if this was true. How is this any different than the fucking fantasies that Republicans have about things that are not happening? How is this any different than the reactionary ways of thinking that we make fun of with Republicans, where Republicans actually hallucinate a problem and then get really mad about it? Because you're doing that, but wokely. Oh, don't refresh, just ban. I'm going to refresh and then ban. Sobering? Bro, this is entertaining. How long can you keep this crash out going? Oh, dude, yeah. I wasn't actually getting bitched at by a 34-year-old Twitch streamer that I fucking financially supported in a community that I enjoy being a part of for the better half of the last 30 minutes as a 40-year-old dipshit from fucking Oregon who tries to present himself as like the champion of woke. It was actually fun for me. I really made you crash out, bro. Fucking idiot. You sound like one of these goddamn gray sock account trolls. Okay? A dude that came in as a first-time chatter. Oh, I was just pretending, dude. I was just trying to piss you off. Moron. You're fucking 40 years old, dude. Wake up. God, what a fucking pathetic way of existence. Holy shit.
White country for the first time in the 2040s. Are you concerned about that?
Of course I'm concerned about that. And look at what's happened in South Africa, right? White people used to run that country. When the tides turned and political control was given to non-white people there, people have to live behind bars and be very cautious. There's private security everywhere.
But these fears aren't confined to rural Arkansas.
The greatest invasion in history is taking place right here in our country.
They're everywhere.
In political terms, this policy is called the Great Replacement.
And the name of one white minority country keeps coming up.
Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So,
indeed, Eric took inspiration from a whites-only town in South Africa for what he's building here in Arkansas.
Many of us imagine, what is this going to look like when we are actually a minority? And so we see what's happening in South Africa and we say, is that going to be us?
Trump has even claimed a so-called white genocide is happening in South Africa.
but it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about.
Welcome to the United States of America.
He's used this as a reason to open up the US refugee program to white South Africans. Something that in the US has become the butt of late-night jokes.
President Trump has signed an executive order giving refugee status to white people from South Africa. I could have sworn that white people had it good in South Africa. Must be the Mandela effect.
Specifically, Trump is giving refugee status to Afrikaners.
These are the descendants of the people who created the most diabolical system of white supremacy in human history, apartheid.
I traveled to Alabama to meet one of the new Afrikaner.
Yes, I know the chatter we banned is the same chatter from yesterday. Woke scolding Hasan about his not knowing how to make a land acknowledgement. I know. I didn't deal with it yesterday because I thought they would be more normal if it was a other issue. But of course, slowly but surely, the very same people that start off like that, yes. When I was trying to do a land acknowledgement and jokingly saying, like, isn't there a fucking blueprint for how you can just like do one of these things. That was the chatter who was losing their fucking mind. Yes, I know. I am very aware that that was the same fucking username. I'm going to be so for real with all of you. If you think that kind of behavior is actually totally appropriate, you don't have a space here, okay? If you are the most woke person on the fucking planet, I'm always there by your side, okay? But if that's the way you present yourself, if that's the way you carry yourself, that means you are just not serious about anything and you just want your voice to be heard. You want to make a fucking fuss. That's it. That's it. You're selfish and you want to selfishly make the conversation revolve around you. Pick better fucking fights. I bet the rest didn't act like that around the Thanksgiving table. If you think that chatter celebrates Thanksgiving, you're crazy. They're either not invited to any Thanksgivings or they don't celebrate Thanksgiving at all. It's a genocidal holiday celebrating colonial occupation and the death and destruction that befall the indigenous population. Are you crazy?
Refugees. Errol, how are you? Nice to meet you. Errol Langton, who had just moved to the US with his family. Could we get 2 of the breakfast sandwiches, please? You seem happy.
I'm very happy. Happier than I've been in a long time.
Yeah.
Less stressed, that's all. You know, anybody who knows me, the first thing that they do is, if they haven't seen me in a few months since leaving South Africa, is the first thing is, you're looking good. You're looking healthy. You're looking like you're getting on top of things.
Where you lived in South Africa, you and your family felt unsafe?
We are very nomadic. So we've lived in multiple locations as a family. And in multiple locations, I've had the same kind of sense of, I'm just waiting for something bad to happen. Yeah. And I've had bad things happen.
In 2003, Errol says he was stabbed 15 times in his home. He says the intruder was black, but he doesn't know if the attack was racially motivated. Is there a white genocide in South Africa?
I feel that's a little bit of a loaded question because genocide, the definition of genocide is such that you can interpret it any way you want. Do I believe there's a white genocide? Yes, I do. They want it to be a black country. And if that's not the definition of genocide, I don't know what is. Again, it's not always just about murdering. The term is eradication, by whatever means.
So how has the idea of white persecution in South Africa taken such a strong hold in the US?
I think one could say that a lot of the problems that we experience in South Africa today might be experienced by countries like America in the future.
A lot of it is down to this man, Ernst Roots, an Afrikaner who's made multiple trips to Washington, D.C. and has appeared all across conservative media.
Especially farmers in South Africa, white farmers in particular.
I don't know if this shit is just let themselves exile, though. I think they have broader ambitions to assimilate wherever they do this bullshit. They're trying to set up communities in rural areas near me. Yeah, obviously, if it's like coming near your fucking hometown, that's an entirely different equation. Okay, who the fuck wants there to be a Klan rally next door? The joke that I'm making is that they're literally in bumfuck Arkansas, hundreds of miles away from other humans. Okay, the entire point of sundown towns and how damaging it is because it's the only fucking it's the only town with its own municipality, its own municipal structure, with its own cops, running water in a large stretch of road. This is not even a town to begin with. And it most likely will never become a town. Yeah, this is basically my Florida project, but people doing it on their own in Arkansas. Any word on the genocide in Sudan, or is South Africa the only country in Africa that matters to you? Chatter, I have done a lot of coverage on it. If you're sincerely interested in hearing what my thoughts are on Sudan, then I highly recommend you watch any number of different YouTube videos that I've done on this. Is it true that Hasan is worth over 150 million, or was the person saying that lying? Why is someone spreading that he's worth 150 million? Has Hasan ever visited sub-Saharan Africa? Why are you against visiting sub-Saharan Africa? Yeah, I'm not worth 150 million. I'm worth 150 billion. Yeah, another asking real questions chatter. Yeah, is with a B, not a M. Is the RSF poised to win the civil war due to their support from the UAE and the US? The RSF is poised to win the civil war because they're It's not a real civil war. It's just a genocide. But yes, due to their support from the UAE and the lack of interest from the rest of the world to actually address any of that or even offer any punishments to the United Arab Emirates.
They would be tortured to death and it would receive very little news coverage, and that's unfortunately.
One of the lessons from South Africa is when white people or Westerners become a minority, the threats and the targeting doesn't stop, it becomes worse.
So you view this as a fight bigger than just for South Africa, it is for Western civilization.
We do believe that Western civilization is under threat. I think America should look to South Africa and be concerned.
How important has Donald Trump been for putting the Afrikaner issue on the world stage?
Well, he's been fundamental and he's played a very important role.
Death, 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 horrible death.
Ruth's message has made it to the White House.
Excuse me, turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you.
When President Trump showed videos of what he said was evidence of white persecution in South Africa.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites, over 1,000 of white farmers.
So what is the truth?
These Afrikaners are among the most privileged people on the entire...
Everybody got all hot and bothered about, the program being stopped and, South Africans are now coming in and how unfair that is and all these whiteys getting an opportunity when there's people somewhere else that should be getting an opportunity. I think it's utter bullshit.
Do Americans need to be worried? What really is going on in South Africa? We went there to find out.
Someone I used to be friends with when I was a kid believes this shit. Is so depressing. Oh my God. Ugh.
Website, not an exclusive News Channel 5 investigation. 2 notorious websites used by neo-Nazis targeting children are now...
So loud. Sky News actually made a doc on the whites only community, 1.7 million views. All right, let's watch it.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a white...
You sound depressed? I am depressed. How can you not be? Everything is shit. The world is fucking falling apart. Racists are winning, okay? Everywhere. And dumb fuck leftists are mad at a fucking Twitch streamer. And even and a much larger, I promise you, tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, you will see reverberations of this conversation that took place. Because anytime I pop off on a dumb fuck chatter, the most annoying douchebags that self-identify as fucking leftists or liberals will make endless amounts of videos off of this shit. Okay? And slop tubers will farm it. Hasan is crashing out. Hasan is getting canceled by his own community. Tens of millions of views. And the saddest part about it is that sometimes I wish my imagination was more stunted. Okay? Because the saddest part about it is there are people who could so easily be convinced. People with a good moral compass that would otherwise be like, oh, let me check in to see what this guy was saying. Those guys will watch those fucking brain-breaking, thought-terminating slop tubers and go, yeah, fuck this guy. And then we lose those guys to the right-wing pipeline eventually because they're just rudderless. Okay? That's what I'm sad about. That's what I'm always sad about. See, don't you sort of think you're reaping what you sow a little bit? I mean, it's literally always a 40-month chatter. First of all, that was a 6-month chatter. These are the people you created, homie. The chickens are coming home to roost. Like, all of these, for the record, all of these fucking losers that behave like this, all of the fucking hyper scrutinizing, endless puritanical spiral enjoying leftists actually give Asmongold's audience a fantastic opportunity to sit around and jerk off about how fucking dumb we are on the left. Because we are. Okay? It's guys like this that make out like bandits here. They look at us and then we laugh and they laugh at us. Okay? Hateful, most bigoted, neck-bearded losers love this kind of constant fucking crash out infused discourse on the left. Okay? Look, he's saying chickens come home to roost. I'm here to watch you fall apart. Do you understand? Yeah. I can't help but feel like you have some accountability. It's always a 40-month subscriber. Do you not feel like you've created some of these people, bro? How can we make land acknowledgments when there's a gender slide going on? I don't think I'm saying this that is any different than people saying there was a trans genocide here in the U.S. Do you understand? Do you get it? Anaphase is right earlier. The new meta is dipshits coming in here just to do this. No, this is not the new meta. It's been the old meta. It's been the forever meta. It's just that every other wave of like quote unquote fake cancellation leads to more and more people doing this for fun as a sport. You understand? I wish people in the extremely online left would be a little bit more critical in the way that they operate, in the way that they behave. The end game of politics is amassing as much clout as yourself as possible. Yes, of course. You're misreading good intention people as rage bait again? What? You think this is a good intention person? Are you okay? With all respect, this was a weird hill. The left is not losing law. With all respect, this was a weird hill to die on. Donald Trump as the United States of American president just one of the most racist rants I've seen in recent American history from a president. Okay? In the aftermath of 2 National Guardsmen being shot by a CIA death squad guy from Afghanistan, turned around and shifted the blame over to Muslims, just openly, just saying Muslims, Somalis, they're invading this country. We're going to shut off shithole third world nations from coming into the country. I mean, just pure white supremacy. Okay? We're living in a state that is like bouldering in the direction of fascism, and you're over here being like, the left is not losing. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, sure, there's a lot to be hopeful for in terms of organizing, but let's be fucking real for a goddamn moment. Like, people trying to make a mountain out of a molehill in a time like this because of their own inability or lack of interest in understanding nuance or understanding that someone's capable of making fucking jokes. In one of the only fucking progressive communities that is sizable in a sea of hatred everywhere. Like, what are we talking about? This is unimaginably unproductive. And I really hope people don't behave like this when they're not anonymous online. You know, I hope they're not doing this IRL. It's crazy. We're not going to build shit. People wear their socially maladaptive behavior like a fucking badge of honor on here. It's fucking annoying.
It's only place.
White American culture.
Over the last year and a half, high up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, leveling the land, building houses. They call it an intentional community based around shared ancestry, a long-winded way of saying something really quite simple.
I think we would generally be called far right, sure.
It's called Return to the Land, and they invited me in.
A lot of people are going to be, why are you making Nazi references?
Right. Well, why wouldn't I?
A seemingly bucolic and sometimes surreal experience. But this is built on a radical modern premise, made possible because of a new political and technological moment. One with strong ties to the most active far-right groups in the US. Instead of taking to the streets, they are building their own, for generations to come.
It's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
But in this southern US state, people who have lived through segregation once fear it is returning.
Dude, it's so crazy. It's so crazy to me that you could just like get this experience with running water and sewage in any American exurb or suburb. But like the mere prospect of having like a black mailman is enough for these guys to literally escape to the mountains of Arkansas. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that is so wild. Because, like, this level of white segregation already pretty much exists as a consequence of redlining. And these guys are like, nah, there might be randomly someone with melanin that I might encounter. Like, how sensitive are you? Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful, and you don't know who to trust.
Its founder says he is building a fortress for the white race.
It's a racial association. I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Arkansas, in the southern United States.
Welcome to Little Rock, where the local time is 4:27.
For the last few years, I've been exploring how an ethno-nationalist movement has been organizing
Bro,
online.
this guy...
A network that aims to define...
This is the perfect journalist to send there. They're going to be like, oh, you're one of our own. Welcome.
Countries by ethnicity, but which links across borders. And this is the place that one group has chosen to put that into radical, real-world action.
You want a white nation? Build a white town. It can be done, and we're doing it.
Haven't white people been taught that no matter what they do, they will always be racist? I think that's why we are seeing things like this happen. Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, white supremacy is a direct response to people saying white people are racist across the board. You're totally right. Come on. Come on, chatter. As I already explained, there are plenty of fucking places that already have running water and sewage that are this racist and this racially segregated. These guys are extra. These guys are extra white supremacists. They are specifically trying to build a white supremacist enclave. Okay? Also, as a white person myself, I get told all the time that I am racially insensitive or I have blind spots. And I'm not just like any other kind of white person. I am a white person that has spent the last 12 years of my professional media career criticizing white supremacy and educating people on white supremacy. And yet people still fucking say that shit. Okay? What are you, some kind of pussy? The fuck's wrong with you? You hear someone say, oh, all white people are racist, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll show them by becoming racist? The fuck? Have some conviction. Have some courage. Intellectual honesty. I can't stand people that go, you've given me no choice but to become the racist you always suspected me of being.
It is an extreme view, but it draws on more familiar arguments. That mass immigration is out of control, that Western societies are in danger of losing their fundamental character as a result.
So one of the arguments here is that this isn't about persecution of an ethnic identity, but protection of an ethnic identity, and that identity happens to be white. So we're going here now up into these pretty remote woods to really put that to the test.
We are driving deep into the Ozark Mountains. The group's leaders are not from Arkansas, and they've chosen these remote parts for a reason. All the locals I spoke to knew only a little about the group, if anything.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's not my choice.
Yeah, but do you think they should have the freedom to do it?
That's what they want to do.
I think it's kind of a little fishy around here, but just be safe.
The leader of the group is called Eric Orwell, and he's invited me to spend a few days with them.
Hey, Eric.
He insists what he is doing here is entirely legal, and that's key, because if it is, it could be a blueprint for many other communities to come.
Welcome to the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I mean, it's free association. So we're not...
What do you mean it's free association? Okay, so a black person can freely associate with you? I mean, it's kind of the opposite of free association, don't you think? It's so funny. See, he's still trying to be woke while being a Nazi. Is fucking hilarious. There ain't no way this actually succeeds. There's just no shot.
Not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out.
Well, I mean, you don't let everyone into your home.
160 acres taking shape, forest cleared, roads laid, cabins built. Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And I'm intrigued to find out what motivates people to give up their old lives for this.
We met here.
Oh, you met here? I guess he came here.
I met her on like day 3. So
Oh my God, what a story. It beats Tinder, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, right?
yeah.
David and Caitlin not only met here, they
It
got married.
beats Tinder, doesn't it? Is a brother, you are in a white supremacist enclave. This is a cult. That's crazy. What do you mean it beats Tinder?
Married last month. And they wouldn't be here without social media.
Somebody had posted a video of Eric.
Yeah.
I saw videos of them actually building stuff on
Oh
him.
my God, look at celery, carrot, the worst hamburger I've ever seen. Okay, it's over. Brother, you can't even make a good burger. Like, you can't even have a good grilling session. The fuck is the point, dude? The fuck is the point? You deserve to eat the shit burger for the rest of your goddamn life in your bumfuck white supremacist inbred enclave, dude. God damn. God damn, this shit is so ass, bro. Imagine being so fucking racist. You moved to the mountains of Arkansas, bro. Holy shit. Destined for a lifetime of eating the worst food of all time. Oh, they're doing the Florida Project to themselves. I'll allow it.
Land, I was like, oh man, I gotta come check this out.
And I figure if there's nothing else like this in the country, like it should at least exist.
Yeah.
Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors?
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do the same thing.
I think it'd be quite controversial.
Well, if you don't have rules.
Yeah, like this guy's gonna be like, oh, well, what about Chinatown? It's like, first of all, any sort of enclave of that sort was created as a matter of protection because there was also real harm being done. No such comparison exists with white people in a country like the United States of America, a white nation, okay? A nation founded through genocide of the indigenous population by white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, okay? And even then, you can move to Chinatown as a non-Chinese, okay? Little Italy exists, and you can move there as a non-Italian. The difference, of course, is that not only are white people, or at least like, people of European white heritage, are not being attacked or systematically eviscerated or harmed or bullied on the virtues of whiteness in a country like the United States of America, but also you have designed it on the basis of exclusion, deliberate exclusion.
Against it, then, anyone of any race can come and be your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are, the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society, and suddenly, your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence happening to white people and white children.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is mental illness. Oh, what are you saying, bro? This is like the incel school shooter that becomes an incel school shooter because they heard someone say all men are trash. Oh, stuff like this makes me think we really do need to regulate the internet better, I think. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. But like, God damn, dude. We're just not responsible enough. We're not educated enough to be able to handle free flow of information, and specifically misinformation. He said white people are actually under attack, dude. Lobotomy, brother, the internet gave this guy a lobotomy already.
Specifically motivated by racism against white people. What sort of things the heavens are about there?
Yeah. I'd like to continue talking, but the rain starts and it comes down hard. The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls. The next morning. This is how the average weekend works at Return to the Land, or RTTL. What they call a work party, made up of residents, but also new recruits who have come to check out the project. It is hot, hard work. To join RTTL, you have to sign up to the Private Members Association, or PMA. And there are strict criteria for membership, as Scott Thomas, a board member and one of the founding fathers here, explains.
You have to be a PMA member to live here.
Yeah.
So you have to be someone of...
White man never see a piece of land that didn't need a fence, even in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, who's coming over, man? Who are you fencing out?
European heritage,
The group's logo, based on a Nordic rune, draws on that heritage. It is the PMA that the group believes makes this all legal. Once members have been vetted on ethnicity and other grounds, they can buy shares in the Limited Liability Company, or LLC.
That's got it.
Those
This is a
shares
scam. Okay, this is one hundo P a scam.
translate to acres of land that they can build on. Peter Seri is the brains behind the legal side of things.
Civil Rights Act is there for a reason, and this is a way around it.
Yeah,
Do you think you'll survive contact with the legal system, the courts, if it came to that?
hopefully.
Do you think it's racist or not? Do you reject that term? Do you embrace it?
I don't know about that term. I mean, people use it in a lot of different ways. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the internet who would call me racist. I don't really know or care whether that term applies to me or not. Maybe.
Scott, what do you think?
Oh, wow. He's not automatically claiming he's not racist, you know? Yeah, we know, brother. We get it.
Yeah, I almost don't know what racist means anymore. Like it's just...
Sort of prejudice towards someone who's from a different ethnicity.
Well, actually, the modern definition of racism, according to critical race theory, all white people are racist automatically.
I don't know about all white people, but all white people at this commune definitely are racist. Because it's a whites only, white supremacist enclave led by a guy who won't even say, I don't know about racism. I mean, maybe I'm a racist. Who knows? Why are people so upset about a bunch of folks LARPing in the forest? I mean, I'm not even upset. But I can't even make fun of them without someone fucking putting words in my goddamn mouth. I mean, it's just a congregation of open neo-Nazis, you know what I mean? They're not just like Boy Scouts. They're also organizing around white supremacy. Let's be real. That's their leader? No, that's their legal mind, the legal scholar behind this all.
A lot of this is reaction to left-wing identity politics, critical race theory, and movements like Black Lives Matter. And fundamentally, this is identity politics, but white identity politics. And what they're building here is...
Isn't this just racist Amish? Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. No, they're trying to do Amish shit, but they have no technical skills. Like, they have no skills in home building and shit like that. The Amish can build a mean home, you know what I mean? But yeah, they're basically the racist version of that. Actually, I don't know how racist the Amish are. The Amish are racist too? Yeah. These guys are racist Amish without learning how to churn the butter. Also, I'm seeing a far larger number of men than women here, for the record.
It's a safe space for people of European ancestry.
It's exclusionary. It's sort of an attempt at segregation.
Right.
Aren't Amish pacifists? No, those are Quakers.
Is that fair?
Probably.
While the men labour at the roadside, the women of Return to the Land are at work too, looking after the 6 children who live and are homeschooled here full time.
Oh no.
And they're preparing food for the weekly community
6 victims
dinner. The theme tonight, colonial.
I don't know, dinner's really important. I like feeding people, so I didn't want to put this off any longer than I already had.
Back in the day,
Ain't no way. Come on. No spices? For real? Are you actually?
when we
Come
first
on.
got
Spice
the
them
land
bad
here,
boys.
there
Please.
were only about 5 guys.
Oh my God. It's real. It's not even a joke. She's just not putting no spices on that.
I was living 40 minutes from here, and Jennifer was the first, family to be on the road full time. So we started community dinners back then, and it would be pretty relaxed because it is nice. It's slowly growing, so.
They've come here to live for a variety of reasons, but their dedication to the mission is absolute.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I, I'm 32.
Cool.
I'm a lady.
My name's Allison, A-L-I-S-O-N, I'm 29.
Right.
And Caitlin, C-A-I-T-L-I-N, I'm 31.
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake?
No, I think people totally understand what's going on. What do you mean? It's a white-only enclave, man. Designed by white supremacists. The fuck do you mean? What's the misunderstanding?
Understanding.
well, that we hate everyone else.
She's gonna be like, well, we do put spices in our food. I mean, I use salt and pepper, for example.
Yeah,
it's not about that by any means. It's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be it could be a very loving community.
I don't understand. Like, why are they trying to wokeify white supremacy? Just wear it on your fucking sleeve. I mean, you are wearing it on your chest. You got a Nordic rune on every fucking... You got a Nordic rune that says whites only on every tree. What do you mean? No, it's a misunderstanding. We're actually woke. It's just funny because, like, I keep reiterating this, but it's Arkansas. It's Arkansas. There are already... It's like a sundown state for the most part. So the very fact that you were like, no... because there might be like some brown people around that you basically decided to self-exile to the mountainside is you're extra racist. Like, how is that possible? How is that possible? It doesn't make sense that you would just still be like, no, I'm actually not. We love everybody. Yeah, because they think leftist woke is making America fail. They're a white woke. Okay.
If you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them. If other people are allowed to do it, I don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense.
But the goal is to have lots of these communities, and for it maybe not to be rural, for there to be cities on the same basis, right?
Yeah, that would be neat. I look forward to seeing how this movement grows over time.
There are other ways to increase numbers. Nikki, Caitlin and Alison all met their partners at the community. And RTTL is explicit about this. It has an online fundraiser to give cash rewards to parents of newborns as a means to incentivise population growth. Just before we arrived, they had donated $1,000 to a family for having their 6th child.
Is that part of the mission as well, to sort of have big families, to make the community bigger? Is there a sort of pressure there?
I don't think so. I don't feel...
My best friend's a comms director for an Arkansas House rep. He said that place is in Crawford's district and we make fun of him for it. Dude, even the racist Arkansas reps are making fun of these guys. Making fun of the reps for having these dudes in their district. That's awesome. They're like, we're the regular kind of racist, not whatever the fuck these guys are on. Is it going to be a Netflix documentary after they have their first commune shooter scenario? Oh, you mean a school shooting, a homeschool shooting. This is just white Zionism. Okay, unlike Israel, though, this is truly a land without people. Like, historic Palestine existed and there were people there. These guys chose the one plot of land where there is unironically no goddamn people. This holler was promised to them 300 years ago.
Particularly myself, I don't feel any pressure to like have a big family. I think there's a kind of expectation here that you do want to, as part of helping grow this thing, that you're going to have kids.
There's not a lot to show around here. I basically just have the whole pasture area.
Peter is unattached. This is his homestead. He's been on a journey. He told me he used to be a liberal, a hippie even.
The knife is a tool. It has to be very sharp in order to cut properly.
He founded a commune in Ecuador.
Oh, that makes sense as to why he was he was at least educated enough to get a law degree. Of course. Of course. He was a liberal and he went to college and he got a law degree. And then he did this like freak ass hippie commune shit already. And then somewhere along the road, he just snapped.
An intentional community based not on ethnicity, but veganism.
I can't begin to explain to you how fucked this guy's vibes are, which I think is something you can all see, right?
Yeah. But he's also immersed in internet culture, someone who delights in provoking reactions, a troll. On the group chat on the messaging app Telegram, he's posted the numbers 1488. The 14 refers to the 14.
Oh, shit, dude. I couldn't figure out that this guy was a Nazi, but now that I've seen the 1488, I'm convinced. Yeah, he built a fucking whites-only commune, man.
In words, a white supremacist slogan. And H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. So 88 means HH, which means Heil Hitler.
Because you've put that in the Telegram, for instance. What does that mean when you place that in Telegram 1488?
Well, I use it as kind of like a funny comment, throwback.
As part of that Nazi discussion, another frequent topic on the online chat is the Holocaust. Usually minimized, sometimes even mocked.
But the Holocaust, stands as a unique crime in the history of
Well, that's your
humanity,
opinion.
really.
I think the Holodomor was much worse than the Holocaust. That's my opinion. I mean, we're allowed to have opinions.
Wow, another double genocide liberal. You see why the double genocide theory oftentimes is advanced by Nazis? You just saw it in action. You just saw it in action. There's a whole ass Holocaust denying Nazi. Look at his little dumbass smirk.
Yeah, we can say they're both bad. The Holocaust was bad.
But do you know anything about the Holodomor?
Yeah, in Ukraine, the famine, and I know it was awful too, and it was sort of deliberate, but we can also agree the Holocaust is bad.
Well, you know, we don't have to say that one was objectively worse than the other.
I'm not saying one. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, what is the Holocaust?
Wait, you said it. You said one was objectively worse than the other. Why are you getting back on that? You just said that, you know, the USSR was worse than the Nazis.
A bad thing.
So basically all I'm saying is that I don't really see it as concerning that people are talking about Hitler when it's acceptable, it's publicly, socially acceptable in the United States for leftists to support Chairman Mao.
It's quite difficult to agree on even the very bare minimum here.
Okay, wait, first of all, Holodomor and Chairman Mao? Really? Mao Zedong did Holodomor? Is that what the argument is? The fuck? But yeah, I know this motherfucker is gonna watch this video now. Okay? This dude is 100 P, a fucking hate watcher, straight up. He don't got internet out there. I'm sure he figures it out somehow.
It's just interesting, sort of, when we're coming to talking about the Holocaust, it's always about something else. And, you know, I think most people would agree the Holocaust was a bad thing.
Right.
But you're not willing to agree with that.
What, do you want to talk about the whole, I mean, it
fine.
seems like an interesting subject, but...
It is an interesting subject, but I also think that was a bad thing, but I think the Holocaust was a bad thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, are you asking me a question?
Yeah, I'm asking you, do you think the Holocaust was bad?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Holocaust was bad.
RTTL is based on exclusion, but that also means building community for those allowed inside. This isn't just for our camera's benefit, to present a veneer of clean, healthy living. It's central to the project. Like many far-right movements before them, RTTL's mission is to show that by excluding others, they can live purer, more natural lives, as they put it on their website, to cultivate wholesomeness, beauty, health, and hope. Let's talk about hope. As much as RTTL might like, they do not exist in a separate world. Pocahontas is the nearest town to the settlement, and hope means something different for Pat Johnson.
I'm Tom.
I'm Pat.
Oh, you're Pat. Lovely to meet you, Pat. How are you?
We met her before we went up into the hills.
It was about 25 students that attended school here.
And the whole time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really tiny. And like, there you are.
Yes.
Second from bottom. How old are you in that photo?
I don't know. I think probably about 12 or 13.
This is the school she attended in the 1950s, a school for black children only, because she was not allowed to be educated with white people. Unlike the members of Return to the Land, she is Arkansas born and bred. For the first 15 years of her life, she lived under segregation.
We could not go to school together. We couldn't eat together. We couldn't do everyday things together. Each day that you leave your home, you are under rejection.
And Pat had hoped those days had gone.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful, and you don't know who to trust.
When I explain what Return to the Land is doing, just half an hour's drive away, she's not so sure. And in her eyes, there is one main reason for that.
And I feel like that's the change of, and I'm just going to say, I think it's the change of our presidency. That's what I'm going to say, because I feel like that's where the change is. It's allowing people to have the right to be open for hatred.
That may be a feeling, but it is also backed by the data. These are all the white supremacist incidents, demonstrations, leafleting, recruitment drives, meetups over the last 4 years in the US, tracked by ACLED, an organisation that monitors violent conflict and protest. There has been a dramatic increase over that period. It has become a background thrum of nationalist activity. Patriot Front is the most active white nationalist organisation in the US right now, according to ACLED. Its leader is Thomas Rousseau.
Foreign race successfully assimilated en masse into American culture.
Bro, you're not even a human. You're a hobbit. The fuck do you mean foreign races? How about foreign species, brother? Oh my God. Go back to the Shire, bitch. Fuck you mean? Oh, I can't go on, Frodo looking ass. Bro, what the hell? Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Bro is finger painting size. That's crazy. He looks like he's too small to use a pencil.
Culture and nationality.
And the group has tight links to return to the land. Eric and Thomas speak on each other's podcasts and have fast-track membership for both organisations.
Comfy. Feels good.
Yeah. It's about time we spoke to Eric.
Less than 50% of children born today in the US are white. I'm white, my kids are white. There is something to your background that informs who you are, your sense of identity. And we don't want that sense of identity being taken away from us involuntarily. So we're taking control.
How is that, like, how could that possibly be taken away from you involuntarily? Like what? The elusive Latina? Is that what's going to happen? Like they're just going to trick you? Like what do you... Whiteness is a socio-political construct designed around purity and its proximity to blackness. There can't be like a white genocide through miscegenation. It's not a real genocide. It's just people behaving as normal people do and just not being as racist as you. Like it just, when he says like, oh, we can't have the whiteness go away, it's like, okay, like how is that going to happen without enforcement? The only reason why there was some semblance of racial purity for a very long time is because of the exclusivity and the rules against miscegenation. It's such a funny concept because they made it up, right? Like whiteness is something that they made up and they designed it around purity. So when people don't want to believe this idiotic notion, now this made up concept is going away. It's like, yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's going away because you fucking made it up to begin with. What's the problem? Everything in the world is made up. Okay, well, some made up concepts are good and helpful, like the passage of time and being able to contextualize it. And then some made up concepts are fucking idiotic, like whiteness designed around genetic purity, okay? Or a made up concept such as phrenology, scientific racism. This happens to be one of those made up concepts that's not only stupid, but also dangerous in its implementation. It was a violent inception to begin with, and it was so stupid that people were like, come on, man, give it a break. People fought back against it. People succeeded in dismantling this idiotic purity-based legal structure. So now they're worried that white people and black people or white people and brown people are hooking up. That's it. That's what their gripe is. Because that's what this means.
Of that situation and creating an environment where my kids can celebrate their identity and not have it, threatened from outside, I guess.
But why is that threatening you? Why is that an issue that you've had to address? There will always be white people.
Well, I'm feeling a little nervous now in the interview.
Yeah.
We are forced to accept people into our neighborhoods, into our businesses, and into our lives who won't share our background, our cultural priors, even moral priors. We don't have a rule stating, if you have X amount of non-European ancestry, you're definitely out. In many cases, yeah, that would disqualify someone.
Were I to apply to the PMA and my views were different, I'd probably be allowed in. Do you think that's likely? I know it's a case-by-case basis, but just off the top of your head.
Yeah, possibly we would accept you in the PMA.
I don't understand white American culture, but you'd rather have me in that case. I just wonder, though, whether some people watching this, having heard all this intellectualizing, this rhetoric, would say, fine, but actually at heart, this is just, it is just prejudice, it is just bigotry, it is just lowest common denominator racism dressed up in these arguments.
And I would just question the moral frame. why is it wrong to identify with your own people, want an integrated culture where you can be yourself?
Just to boil it down to what for you is the definition of racism?
Dude, small b and white supremacy is so crazy. Like, total cultural victory for the woke, I guess. That you got straight up Klansmen being like, oh, little old me. Excuse me. I mean, this is a place for preservation. Dude, you can go anywhere in America and there are places that are just as racist, you know? It's so crazy. It's like, oh, well, us white people, we need a safe space. Really? Really? Yeah, you got one. It's called the country club, you know? Pretty much everywhere you go is a safe space for white people. I just don't, yeah, it's called Boston. Ugh.
When I was a kid, I suppose I interpreted racism to be judging someone solely on the basis of their race. And is that a good or bad thing? I think this basic moral consensus treats it as automatically a bad thing without a lot of reflection.
Oh, he's saying, like, you know, I hate the moral consensus around racism being automatically disqualifying. Wow, I'm glad you learned better that racism sometimes good.
This is my last day here, and before I go, I want to speak to John. Not a leader like Eric or Pete or Scott, but an acolyte, a young one and newly arrived. He's only been here a month.
So I'm trying to knock off some of this more good topsoil, give it some more.
We'd seen him when we first came up. He guided us in on his bicycle.
It's just you have a community where you feel like you belong here. You have people you can talk to, and I can't explain it. It's too beautiful. It's nice.
He'd been working on Scott's new house over the weekend. In return for his labour, he gets cheap rent. John dropped out of college, and he's worked jobs all over the United States.
Oh,
he's 26, younger than the leaders who are all in their 30s. If they are the recruiters, he is the perfect recruit. And for John, the primary motivation was...
Oh, brother, you know his ass dropped out of college because of anti-white racism.
Financial.
To me, it's economical. It's an economic decision, right? And, you know, everything
also, yeah, he's doing serfdom. They're doing racialized serfdom. Dude, white people love capitalism, bro. I swear to God. They're doing white slavery. Respect. Respect. Oh, I'm sorry. When the Ottomans were doing it, everybody was mad. All of a sudden, when other white people in America are doing it to other white people, boom, then it's fine. Is that what we're doing here? Everybody hated the Dev Shimmer program when the Ottomans were doing it. They were real pissed off. How dare you? How dare you enslave the whites of the Balkans and elevate them to the highest rungs of Ottoman society? How dare you do such a thing? Meanwhile, this guy is literally just a straight up serf. Yeah, he still pays rent too. It's even funnier.
It just kind of falls in line.
Yeah.
But the main thing to me is cheap land. Everything else is a bonus.
You've got 2 levels here.
Yep, got a loft up top, and this is the main area.
It's a living area down here, so it's quite comfy, right?
It is quite comfy. As for excluding people, I don't see it that way. We're trying to embrace our culture.
Bro, we can't even escape landlords by moving to fucking racist ass bumfuck nowhere. Yeah, that's the craziest thing, dude. Like, being relegated to permanent renter status and as a serf in 160 acres of untapped land is wild. Like, at no point did you realize, like, hey, motherfucker, let me build my own house in one of these plots. No, you're supposed to be a serf in racist land. That's awesome. That is awesome. You are such a fucking loser, dude. You are so stupid. Like, you could have done this in every other formation. The whole point is that you're supposed to not be a peasant here, right? You're supposed to be a king in your own plot of land. Nope. Yeah, sidekick in your own dream type shit. Exactly.
And our heritage. It's been denigrated, if you ask me. We've turned into a melting pot of a country for a long time now.
There is one last thing before I go. A concert put on in honor of our visit.
This first piece that Peter and I are performing, it's called The Virginia Colonies by Fred Cooper. The English governor returned to take his place.
Eric himself takes the
Stop. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Oh no. Oh, that's so bad. That is, oh brother. It's like, it's designed like a meme. What the fuck? Ass food, terrible music, no joy in your life. You're literally a fucking peasant. That guy is gonna shoot up the rest of the colony, I think.
This is a Baroque flute, also known as the German flute or the penny whistle. It was a very popular instrument in colonial America.
It's not easy to look tough with a flute, even if it's German. But the audience is rapt.
Would America be better as a white nation state?
Better in what sense?
Would you prefer, completely blank slate, America is just an ethnically white country?
I would probably feel more comfortable there because I'm white, and that's the way that this country was when my ancestors came here.
You also talk about Hitler in your videos a couple of times when you've talked about people are waiting around for a new Hitler to come. And you said he's not going to show up. You have to do the work for that Hitler to arrive.
Hitler is a very controversial historical figure. I think the mainstream view is one-sided. It's informed by World War II propaganda, but also the contrary position that Hitler did nothing wrong that many people online say, that's also a one-sided view. I think all historical figures are complex.
What's this guy's issue with Hitler? That he didn't kill enough? Is that what it is? Is that what he's going to say? He's like, people are wrong, actually. Hitler was too woke. This man is a Hitler centrist.
Dimensional. But when I say you're going to have to wait for that new Hitler to arise, I'm not saying you're going to have to wait for a new person to start a new Holocaust. I'm saying you're going to have to wait for a charismatic leader who's going to advocate for your interests, because that's how a lot of people see Hitler. I'm addressing how they think of Hitler, not my own view.
There are other PMAs, other bits of land that are going ahead.
Yeah, there are 2 other groups, actually 3, organizing, one in Appalachia.
This is what Twitter Maoists think is the average American. They're not wrong.
One in the Pacific Northwest, and then another one here in Arkansas.
So this is the growing movement.
Right now it's growing very quickly. Yeah, we have applicants every week. I would like to see more communities so that people in all parts of the U.S. have this as an option if they want it. I would also like to see us network and branch out.
I always describe Hitler as charismatic first, then I stop. Yeah. No, that was what he was, that was the most important quality. I mean, what is the redeeming quality of Adolf Hitler in this guy's mind, I wonder? The guy who's running the whites-only enclave. What could he be saying? He didn't like Hitler because Hitler was 5'7"? I mean, half of these fucking dudes are 5'7". He's like, no, Hitler killed Hitler. That wasn't good. That wasn't a good move.
Nationally, to a greater extent.
Is there anything you want to talk about that I haven't asked about?
I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. And that's not, for me, it is morally objectionable. I think the way we've talked about it is, I don't think it is like a country club. That's the difference. I don't think this is sort of free or serving people of a fundamental right to housing. That's how I see this issue. And I think the reason I'm asking those questions about where it goes from here, I think that is a thought experiment, but I think if you replicated it
He's like, oh, I don't like this. When I saw your bald ass head, I thought, oh, fellow traveler. Now I'm starting to notice that maybe you weren't a skinhead. What the fuck?
Which I think I would be unhappy with how that looked if it were in my country and if I were on the receiving end of it.
You think intentional communities shouldn't be able to associate how they like?
Not on the basis of race. And the Arkansas State Attorney General told us, "This is the first I've heard of these allegations. Racial discrimination has no place in Arkansas or any..."
That's a funny thing for the Arkansas Attorney General to say, dog. Come on. First time I've heard of it. Wait, what? You mean to tell me, wait a minute, they built another racialized whites only enclave in Arkansas? That's crazy.
Anywhere in a free society. These allegations raise all sorts of legal issues, including constitutional concerns. My office is reviewing the matter. This is how members of Return to the Land often spend their evenings, around the campfire. It's not especially kumbaya when it's about keeping other races out.
You can splice this into the shots we would use. When somebody says something like a little bit like racist, just like
spicy.
switch to the gasoline blowing up on the fire.
The bulldozer isn't just a novel way to build a fire. It's also a reminder that
Here's the Attorney General Griffin declining to make Ethics Commission pick, citing unconstitutionality of the statute. I took an oath to uphold both